Today we're gonna make cold brew. I love cold brew. It's one of my favorite drinks to have in the summertime. I actually stopped drinking coffee in around February, but it's getting hot outside. The best thing to have is cold brew. Just like sip on a nice cold coffee. And cold brew is actually really easy to make. All you need is a jar, some coffee. I brought this back from Sweden actually. I still have like 3 bags of these that I brought back that I'm gonna get through now because it's summertime and it's cold brew time. I bought whole beans because I have this coffee grinder. It's from Krups and I can link it down below if you want to check it out. I like to grind my coffee fresh because I think it has more flavor. If you don't have a coffee grinder yourself, you can buy whole beans and then grind it at the grocery store sometimes, or like if you buy it from Pete's, they can grind it for you fresh there as well. For cold brew specifically, it's better to use a coarser grind. So I'm gonna turn this onto the coarse setting right there. And let's grind some coffee. So first, you open the package, and we're gonna do a cold brew concentrate. I'm just gonna make it pretty strong, and then later on, I'll dilute it with water. Coffee smells so good. So I'm gonna do this much water, which is about a quart, and I'll just fill it up partway. Okay, that's a lot. So this is gonna be a really strong cold brew. So I bought this from IKEA, and it just has a tight seal on it. So I'm just gonna leave my coffee in here. It's not as exposed to the air, so hopefully the flavor stays for longer. That's what I think at least.
Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe.
It barely fits. Is it gonna close? There. And I'm just gonna put this away. Let's grind it. Done. It's pretty coarse. Like this is much coarser than what you would use for your regular coffee. You just pour it in. Try not to spill. I will probably spill. This is a lot of coffee. Anyways, I grind it coarsely just because later on you're gonna filter out the coffee, and it's just easier to filter out the beans when it's a little coarser. So usually when you make coffee with hot water, the hot water helps to activate the flavors and the oils in the coffee, and that's how the extraction is done. It's done over a short period of time at a high temperature. But with cold brew, you don't have that element of heat, so you make it longer. So cold brew will usually take around 18 to 24 hours, and you just let it sit in water, and that will extract the flavors of the coffee bean, which is super cool. Also, you don't have to pay $5 for a cold brew anymore. You can have one every day for, I don't know how much coffee you use in relation to cold brew, but I can guarantee you it's less than $1 a day. Here's my coffee grounds. This is a lot of coffee grounds. So this is gonna be some very strong cold brew concentrate. It honestly doesn't matter how strong you make it because you can always just dilute it with some water. So now, all you have to do is add water and you just fill it up. Then you mix it around. I use a chopstick, but you can use whatever you have. So you want to make sure all of the grounds are getting water around them because that's what's gonna extract all of that coffee flavor for you. And now we're just gonna leave this in the fridge for 18 to 24 hours. You should do a minimum of 18 hours and a maximum of 24 hours. 18 hours just because you need enough time for that coffee flavor to get pulled out of the beans and into the water. And then no more than 24 hours just because the flavors that get pulled out after 24 hours are more of the bitter flavors. Since it's a slower extraction, it pulls out a lot of like the full body coffee flavor and also a little bit of sweetness. And you also don't get as much acidity, so it's not sour, which I love. I don't like sour, so I love cold brew because it's not sour. And it also doesn't get as much of the bitterness. If you go past 24 hours, you will most likely get more of that bitterness. I'm going to put it in the fridge now and check on it tomorrow. I think I will have gotten 18 hours. If I don't think it's enough time, I'll just put it in for a little bit longer. But you can taste it and see if it's as much coffee flavor as you like and pull it out earlier if you want. Or if you like more bitter, then you can pull it out a little bit later. I just don't think it's as good. Here's what it looks like. So it just looks like sludge. We love sludge. Also, don't forget to fill up your ice cube tray so you can have some nice ice cubes in your coffee. I love this ice cube tray because the ice cubes are very big, and then it doesn't melt as quickly into my coffee or my kombucha, and then you don't get your flavors watered down. If you're interested in a big ice cube tray, I'll leave a link down below. I love these. Game changer. We will see you tomorrow. Cold brew. Hi, so it's been about 20 hours and here's the cold brew. It's just been sitting in the fridge the entire time, and now we're gonna strain out the coffee grounds.
Super quick from the future.
I ended up using like a strainer with a coffee filter on top. This is a very thin coffee filter, one that you would just use in your regular drip coffee machine. I went through a lot of processes to try and figure out what was the best in the video, but use this and then something to catch it underneath. Back to the video.
I couldn't find those coffee filters at first, so I used my V60 coffee filters, but those come to a point, and I had to fold it over itself to fit it inside of the strainer, and that caused a double layer, and the coffee strained very slowly.
And now we wait, basically.
Then I switched to the V60 and the carafe so I could undo the double filter, but the coffee kept getting stuck in the point, so that didn't end up working either. Then I finally found those thin coffee filters that go into the drip machine, and I did the coffee filter and strainer method, and that ended up working the best.
So this is what it looks like now. We have our long-awaited cold brew concentrate. And we're gonna make our cold brew now. So I like to put 3 ice cubes and then some cold brew concentrate. Give it a taste. Ooh, that's super strong. So we're gonna add some water now. Give it another taste. Add some more of both. Some more of this. Give it a little stir. Taste it. That's super good. Now we have our perfect glass. This is so good. So it's like a little bit sweet, very like full coffee-y flavor, not sour at all, which I love. Yeah, it's just like very smooth. And I think that comes from the longer process. So sometimes I feel like when I'm making hot coffee, it just tastes a bit more sharp. I don't like harsh, strong tastes. I like smooth, strong tastes. So yeah, this is perfect. I haven't had coffee in like 3 months, and this is 4 months. And this is so good. I'm gonna start drinking more coffee now. So to keep this, you just put a lid on it and then leave it in the fridge. I made around 4 cups, and this should be good for a lot, like, depending on how big my cup sizes are, but like 5, 6, maybe 7 cups of cold brew. So you can make it for the entire week. And it just takes some coffee and some time and some water. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this and you'll try it out sometime. Cold brew is super easy to make, and you don't need to pay like $5 a cold brew anymore. For an entire bag of coffee, you can make like 30 cups of cold brew. So then you would pay like 30 cents per cup. Super worth it. I hope you guys try it out. Then you'll like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.